Okay, so this video is looking at your worked example from your textbook where we're looking at the combustion of alcohols. So we're doing ethanol with two carbons, F2, with your hydroxyl group. So the first thing, you're reacting it with oxygen, it's complete combustion, so we end up with carbon dioxide. So the first thing that we do is balance your carbons. So you can see that we have two, it's ethanol, we have two, so we need 2 carbon dioxide. Then you would do your hydrogens. Be very careful once molecules are split up. It's probably easier when you're doing alcohols if you write it as a simple formula rather than like a semi-structural sort of a semi-structural formula. If you collect all the carbons, hydrogens and oxygens. So if you've got a molecule that's broken up, just collect them and it makes it much easier. So we can see that we've got 6 hydrogens here, which means we need 3 lots of water molecules, 3 lots of 2 to make 6. So at this point our carbons and hydrogens are balanced, but we need to balance the oxygen. So if we have a look, normally we've got 4 here and 3 here. So altogether there are 7 oxygens on this side. So when you do alkanes, if you've got an odd number of oxygens, you need to double everything. So it would be very, very tempting at this point to just put a 2 here, a 4 there, a 6 there, and work out that you have 14 and go 7 and that's it. But it's an alcohol. You have an oxygen here. So you must be really, really careful if you've got this. So what you do, you've got 1 extra oxygen. So if we use the fact that this is an odd number and take 1 off it for that oxygen, then we now have an even number. So now it's easy. So alcohols, where you get an odd number over here, is actually a simple balancing. So we've got 6 oxygens left. They come in pairs, so we can have 3 oxygen molecules to balance them. Okay, so whenever you have an alcohol, just remove, take one of the oxygens away from what you have to be working with, and then divide the rest with your oxygen molecule. The last thing I wanted to say is that with VCAR, they're changing. It was always the state for water was always a gas because you're burning. And your alcohols, remember alcohols are liquids, methanol and ethanol. But now they're looking at the combustion reaction being done at a pressure where you end up with the water being a liquid. So I think at the moment this should be liquid.